Okay.
They tried to call the police on me and tried to repossess my car, do an illegal repossession on my car.
When did that happen?
Months ago.
So when did you take the car back yesterday?
No.
Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today we have a good one, guys. Imagine buying a car, making payments, and driving with your toddler sitting in the back seat. And then suddenly the police surround you with guns drawn. That's exactly what happened in Schaumburg, Illinois on January 29, 2025. The reason? A dealership reported her car stolen, but it wasn't some thief that was caught red-handed. No, this was a woman that was caught in a legal glitch, a paperwork mess, a dangerous misunderstanding. Today we're going to break down what went wrong, the laws at play, the potential consequences, and how a civil issue nearly escalated into a felony arrest. Let's take a look at the footage and let's jump into the law.
Ivor, roll down the window. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Ivor 77, hold the channel. Let me see your hands. Step out. Come out to me. Come to me. Come to me. Keep your hands up and walk towards me. I'll tell you in a second. Walk towards me. Keep your hands up. Keep coming. I'll tell you in a second. Keep coming. Come here. Come here. Come back towards us and I'll tell you what's going on. Come back towards me. Come over here. Come over here. Get over here. You're not listening.
There's a passenger.
Right, there's
Inspector Neighborhood Police.
Put your hands behind your back.
Relax. Away from me. The kid's in the car.
Stop
there's
it.
my kid
Listen,
is in
all
the
right.
car.
Relax for a second.
All right.
Excuse
explain
me,
everything in a
no.
second.
What is going on?
I'll tell you in a second.
What is going
when I-
on? You
Listen to
cannot
me.
just arrest me.
Stop
and
moving.
not-
Okay?
you
You're not under arrest, but if you keep acting like this, you're going to be arrested, right?
Okay,
The
can
car
you-
you're in is stolen. Okay?
How is it
So
stolen?
hang on a second.
Doing everything safe.
We're not going to talk about it in the middle of a parking lot until I know what's going on, all right?
My car is stolen.
Relax.
Wow, he's only 3. Can we like not?
Okay. We are good now, but I don't know that until I see who you are. Okay?
Okay.
What's your first name?
First of all,
Yeah.
this is my
Stand right
car.
here.
Okay, hold on.
No, first of all, you're gonna stand
Okay,
right here,
okay,
okay? And you're
first
gonna
of all-
you're not gonna keep
Okay,
moving.
I
Alright?
am trying to talk to you, but the way that you're...
Face here.
Talk to me.
Okay,
Spread your feet.
okay, listen to me. Listen to me. First of all, the car is mine.
All right.
My wallet is in my purse, if that's what you're looking for.
I'm looking to make sure you have nothing on you.
I don't
all right?
have anything
so
on
listen,
me.
let me do
You
my
are
job.
okay. Can
You
you like
are not
relax a little
cooperating.
bit?
Calm down, please.
Just relax a little bit. You are grabbing me,
Okay,
yanking
because-
me,
'cause you're-
moving me. Come
all
on. I will tell you exactly. I don't
all right.
have anything on me that will hurt
I don't
you.
know that. Listen
I
to me.
have.
Listen to me. This is our job. I met you 30 seconds ago.
I
okay?
understand that.
So
I
when
don't
you're in a
have
car that is
anything
stolen, I don't know who you are. I don't know if it's your car.
It's
You're
my
sitting
car,
here
and
not
I'm
coming.
telling you.
Will you
Okay,
stop
listen
talking
to
for
me.
1 second?
It's my
You want
car.
to stop talking for a second?
I can show you my ID. Nothing is
But
on me
this-
that will
the
hurt
reason
you.
it started up like this is
And
because
then-
of your behavior. You understand that?
Now, just calm down.
Is your ID in your purse? Are you
Because
okay
of
with
my
me getting it?
behavior.
Yes. Can I get your ID out of here?
This is what we have to do.
I got out the car to a gun pointed at me
Yeah.
with my 3-year-old in the back seat.
Stop, okay? That's why
Like, what are you talking about? My ID is in my
In here?
purse.
Okay.
Yes, and I can show you my
All right.
registration and
Okay.
everything that's in the car as well. As my car.
So now we're back to a calmer demeanor. But I don't know who you are.
This is how I've been this entire time.
No, you weren't. You were standing there not listening to me. I simply said, I said, come to me about 10 times, and then you started drifting this way. Like,
You
that's
haven't done to me.
yeah,
My 3-year-old is right there.
Because I don't know who you are. I don't know if you have a gun in your purse. I found a gun in the car yesterday.
Okay.
Okay?
Anyway,
Do you understand where we're coming from?
okay, I
You
understand.
can lean
This
against here for me if you
is-
want to
this
relax.
is my car.
Grab the kid box, make sure kids go in the car.
Please, thank you.
You want to take her real quick?
My car, my registration is in the glove box.
Hey, listen, real quick.
Um,
You're not under arrest right now, but you are in cuffs, okay? So I'm just going to read this so you can be careful, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. And if you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so can you explain to me how this is the car registered to you?
Yes, I can show you my
Okay,
registration.
can you explain to me why it was reported stolen yesterday?
I've been having problems with the people I got it from, like the loaner people.
Okay.
But I bought the car. I can show you all of that paperwork is at my home though. Like my down payment I paid for the car, everything like that. Right up the street.
Why would it have, do you stay out in Glendale Heights?
No.
No?
No.
Why would Glendale Heights report it stolen?
That's what I'm saying.
No,
I
you're not
got
sure?
I got the car from them.
Okay.
They tried to call the police on me and tried to repossess my car, do an illegal repossession on my car.
When did that happen?
Months ago.
So when did you take the car back yesterday?
No.
How long have you had the car back?
I've had this car since September. I've bought this car.
So when you said they try to repossess it from you?
So I made a payment on the car.
Okay.
They tried to repossess it from me, and then they called the police.
Tell me about that. When you said they tried to, how did they actually take it?
No,
okay.
They tried to take it from me because they told me that they could repossess it over insurance.
Okay.
So they reported to the police that they were going to repossess and everything. I called the police because I couldn't find it. I found it. It was in my lot.
Okay.
Never took it. So then I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I called the police. The police said that it was on the repossession list. I called to the police in Glendale.
Is this at the address this is happening at?
Yes. So then I called the Glendale police actually called me and told me they could not do anything about it because it was a civil matter because they're talking about I didn't make a payment. I have proof of all the payments that I made.
I guess I'm confused. Why is Glendale Heights involved if you live in...
I don't know. That's why I'm sitting here.
Did you buy this car in Glendale Heights?
Yes. That's why I bought the car, yes.
Okay.
So I'm not understanding how that car is stolen when it's registered to me. I can show you my registration and everything and all my paperwork. That is my car. I literally be making payments on this car. So for them to report it stolen is crazy.
All right, just give me 1 second, all right? Yeah, they're good. 77, can you copy a name, date of birth, history, contact, CQH?
Yeah, there's no weed in the car. I just have,
You can come straight back. So step over here.
But yeah, there's no weed in the
Last
car.
name.
This car is not stolen.
That was the most awkward. How are you?
I told him we're trying to fix the car issue.
Yeah, all good. I'm gonna come off this a little bit. This is her car. Well, that's what she said. I gotta run it real quick. But it sounds like it might be a repo issue where she might have took it back from the lot. I need Glendale Heights to give me some info on it. So she said she never took it out of the lot. They tried to come get it, but they never successfully repoed it. And yeah. Yeah, exactly. Christ. We're gonna get figured out in a sec, all right? They're gonna call me. You didn't take it out of the repo lot last night?
No.
All right. You know, there was an issue, right, correct, with property or something? It's never been repoed, is what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
How could I steal it out the repo lot last night when it was in my...
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I'm wondering why they would have decided to put it into our system as stolen just yesterday. You know,
yesterday?
Mm-hmm. That's why. You understand why the reason... You understand the reason we came at you the way we did when it's stolen within 24 hours and
right,
then...
and that's fine. That's totally fine. I've had this car for more than 24 hours. I've had this car since September. So
okay, well, I just want to give you a heads up. I'm gonna see what they want to do with this.
I stole it.
Obviously, if they have a crime on their end and they
can actually look at my
listen, I'm trying to explain to you. If they say it's their case, right? I just happen to find you up here. If they say they got charges or something against you, reference going to repo lot, then you're probably gonna come with us, okay? And
There's no repo.
Or the car at least is going to come with us, and then they might come interview you later on. But I'm waiting for a phone call from them, okay? Who is that to you?
That's my baby dad's husband.
Okay. Did anyone get your kid's name yet from you?
No.
Okay. Just give me a sec. Okay, so they never successfully repossessed it the first time? Because that's what she's telling me. She said there was threatened of being repossessed, and they came looking for it in her apartment complex, but they never took it. Okay, so no charges to come for her right now, based on what you guys are telling me. Okay, so it's just so I get this clear. Sorry, go ahead. In the paper. Yeah, I'm sure. So let me just make sure I got everything on the same page. So 11/4/24, cars repoed by, what was the original company? Not JD Byrider. Repoed by what tow company? Armor Recovered. And then is JD Byrider where she leased it from? Okay, so they tow it, give it over to the JD Byrider lot, and then on 11/12 it's gone, and then your guys go out to interview her. She just claims I don't know where it's at. Doesn't provide any information. Says it's a civil issue. JD Byrider just says, hey, we'll try and repo it a second time, and they don't want to sign complaints. Okay, so you guys don't need, obviously, if that's the case, we're not going to take her in on anything. She's been fairly cooperative. She was a little bit of a kind of a shit show on the felony stop when we pinned her. Obviously, she had her kid in the car, and there's guns. She's like, why are guns being pointed at me? And I'm like, we'll talk about it in a second. She wasn't really listening, but she's calmed down. But if that's the case, I mean, we'll go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. It was kind of, so if you're good with it, I plan on just writing a report about what happened out here. Document who was all in the car, and I'm probably going to cut her if you guys are okay with that. I mean, they're not going to give me charges on our end if obviously the complaint doesn't even want to press charges. It's her car. It's a civil issue at that point. Does she have the same last name as you?
I don't know.
Okay. Listen.
Not done talking.
I'll let you know your car was stolen, or in these is stolen. That's why we came out to you the way we did, okay? I'm just explaining to you what's happening. Okay, they said back in November, you got your car repoed in Glendale Heights. They said a week later at Byrider, whatever this company is, wherever you bought the car, I'm not sure, they said that it was no longer on their lot. So they suspected that you or someone you know went and took it out of the lot, okay? And there was some disagreement about getting property out of it. They said Glendale officers came and talked to you a couple days later to ask from your statement. They said that you didn't provide a ton of information, said you didn't know where the car was, and said it was a civil issue, and no one's seen the car since then. Obviously, you're driving it today, so it somehow got out of the lot back in November. So then it was entered and stolen. I'm just telling you what they told me. Don't get mad at me, okay? And they said, just so you know, you're still delinquent on payments, and they plan on finding, they're going to attempt to come repo you again, okay? So, would you like to give me your kid's name for the report so I can document what happened?
No, I do not.
Okay. You have contacts with us, right? We'll be able to dig it up. Feel free to go. Let me move my car. Feisty.
All right, let's begin by locating CarMax in Schaumburg, Illinois. All right, we see it's 250 East Gulf Road. Now here's the street view of the CarMax dealership. And let's take a look at the route from CarMax Schaumburg to JD Byrider in East Dundee, Illinois. And that location of that car lot is 750 Dundee Avenue. All right, we see the journey is 12 miles, and typically it takes about 16 minutes by car. Anywhere from 18 to 20 minutes is what it was saying here, but it's not very far. All right, here's the Dundee Byrider dealership on Dundee Avenue, and the view provides a glimpse of the dealership, what it looks like in the front. So as we see, CarMax Schaumburg and JD Byrider in East Dundee are really close together. They're not very far apart. And it shows sort of the compact nature of the Chicago suburban landscape, because these are all suburbs of Chicago. We're not very far from Chicago, about 40 minutes away. So, all right, let's take a look at some of the potential charges and the law present here. All right, this case in Schaumburg, Illinois, it really intersects with criminal law, consumer rights, and commercial law. It raises serious questions about false reporting, repossession conduct, and the use of police power in civil disputes. Let's unpack the layers. We'll start with false reporting of a stolen vehicle. In Illinois, making a false report that a car has been stolen is considered a serious criminal offense. Under 625 ILCS 5/4-103, knowingly making a false report of a theft or conversion means to steal, of a vehicle is a class 2 felony. Those are punishable by between 3 and 7 years in prison and a fine of up to $25,000. All right, 720 ILCS 5/26-1. All right, this is a disorderly conduct statute. Transmitting false information about a crime to law enforcement, including bogus stolen car reports, is a class 4 felony. It carries between 1 and 3 years in prison. So basically there's two different ways that this could be attacked under Illinois law. If the dealership reported the car stolen while knowing the woman was still in lawful possession of the vehicle, or if she was disputing the validity of a repossession action This report could qualify as false and possibly unlawful, particularly if the goal was to recover the vehicle through police force rather than through the courts. Let's look at repossession and this concept of breach of peace. Illinois law, it does allow for self-help repossessions. That means you can actually go get the vehicle or get the property back. This is allowed under the UCC section 9-609. It says that creditors may repossess vehicles without going to court, but only if they do not breach the peace. All right, here's that term that's going to be important. It says a breach of the peace can include the following things, like threats or the use of physical force, entering into a locked or private property without consent, and then you have, most importantly, something from our case, proceeding over the debtor's explicit objection. Here we saw a woman constantly say she's made every payment on the car, she's dealt with this before in the past, but now you got this happening. All right, here's some old case law. All right, Chrysler Credit Corp versus Kuntz. All right, here the court ruled that if a repossession is attempted over a debtor's clear protest, it becomes unlawful, even if the creditor is otherwise entitled to the vehicle. Under Illinois Collateral Recovery Act, and that's found at 225 ILCS 422/30, only licensed professionals may engage in repossession. Any action by unlicensed parties can further undermine the legality of a person's recovery efforts. So basically they've had laws created because they don't want people trying to go back and get vehicles on their own, leading to the other things that happen when people are on someone's property when they're not supposed to be. All right, so let's bring it all back. Looking at the Schaumburg police here, during this incident, they themselves are not breaching the peace, okay? They were responding to what they believe was a legitimate stolen vehicle report. However, the dealership's decision to report this car as stolen after a failed repossession and amid disputes over the ownership and payments, it seems like they tried to circumvent the legal process. If the company knew that this woman was still in possession of the vehicle and had previous discussions with them, previous contests, that means she's called in, they've made a record that she's been calling in, and it wasn't resolved. This case, it could be viewed as an abuse of the criminal justice system. And that's when breach of the peace, it comes back into the picture. All right, one last time for anybody who didn't understand what happened here. All right, the repossession didn't happen. All right, but the report of a theft triggered law enforcement to act like the repossession happened. Remember, the cops kept asking, did you steal the car last night from the repossession lot? All this created a ripple effect where the police showed up, saw the car, and they were ready for an armed takedown. This video started with the police stopping her car and jumping out with guns drawn. This could have went horrible, and that's not the way to conduct business. Let's break down what it takes to move a case like this from concern to conviction. All right, we break down the evidentiary standards by 6 different levels. The first level is mere suspicion. That's a gut feeling that's not substantiated by any facts. Here, the officer sees a car that might be stolen, but no evidence yet. Dispatch alerts about a recently reported stolen vehicle registered to a dealership. Number 2, reasonable suspicion. This requires specific, articulable facts that would lead an officer to suspect criminal activity is afoot or is happening right now. A good example is a car reported stolen is located. It's matching the make and the license plate. Now the officer has enough to justify a stop. Let's move on. Number 3, probable cause. This is when there's enough facts and circumstances to justify a belief that a crime has been committed. A good example, the car is confirmed as reported stolen. The driver can't provide immediate proof of ownership. This would justify an arrest or detention. Now with this case, we had a detention and then eventually she was let go when the police rectified and found out, hey, this seems more like a civil thing. Hence number 4, which is a civil standard, preponderance of the evidence. This means that the evidence shows that it's more likely than not that a person's claim is true. Usually, repossession, contracts, and things of that nature are all dealt with in civil court. Preponderance of evidence is the usual standard that's used. It requires 51% of the evidence showing that your side of the claim is true, much lower than the criminal standard. All right, a good example, a dealership claims that a car was removed after a repossession attempt, but the driver shows she made payments and has title to the car. Number 5, clear and convincing evidence. All right, this is also usually used in civil context. It means highly and substantially more probable than not. What that simply means is that 75% or more of the evidence points to one side's claim being true versus another. This requires more evidence. This is used in cases like labor disputes. It's used also in fraud cases. And these are all the types of cases that require more fact. Also, it's used in custody disputes, where you would need to show more fact of why you want to change custody. All right, good example here. Documentation proves the driver made consistent payments and the car was never legally repossessed. All right, she would win that. She has enough evidence in her favor to win that. Number 6, beyond a reasonable doubt. This is required in every criminal conviction. The evidence must leave no reasonable doubt in a juror or the fact finder's mind. All right, a good example. The prosecutors claim she stole the vehicle. They would have to prove that she knowingly took it without right, despite registration and payment history. All right, those will be very strong competing arguments if this went to court. Let's move on to the jury perspective. Now, put yourself in the jury box, and I'll tell you, this jury could be for several different types of action. This could be a civil case with the woman versus the car company, or it could be the jury dealing with this situation if it was different. If she couldn't show that she had made good payments, things of that nature. Let me ask you a couple questions. So first, would you view the woman's behavior during the felony stop as resistant or as having an understandable fear? Number 2, if the dealership couldn't prove the vehicle was successfully repossessed, would you convict her of theft? Number 3, would you want more information from Glendale Heights Police or from the dealership or from the repossession lot? Let me ask you this last question. Did it seem like the officers were putting this together? And because of them putting the situation together, do you think it helps or hurts the situation overall? My input is that this situation could have been avoided, and I would put all fault on the business owner here. All right, let's move into our conclusion. This case is a powerful reminder that civil disputes can quickly become criminalized when communication breaks down between private parties and the police. The officers acted on a report they believed to be valid, but the report, it was flawed or it was incomplete with information that was available. Here we had a woman and her child that endured a high-risk stop, all because of what may have been a bureaucratic miss. Remember, false reporting isn't just dangerous, it can result in drawing guns, arrests, and trauma. Let me know in the comments, were the officers too aggressive too soon, or were they just following protocol? Also, have you ever had a close call over some paperwork error? What about a repo dispute? Tell me about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this breakdown insightful, helpful, or just funny. Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy. I am Professor Ross. I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone have a good day.